Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We're taking on a Ather player here for Chaos Season, and this one is this is going to be tough. This is well, not necessarily the offensive unit because it's not like the best kit on Felix, which you'll see in a minute, but in terms of like what I have available this season, I don't think I have anything that would have been able to get through this in a more concise way, or just be able to do the job. I was actually considering to bring Bernadetta this season, but I ended up not doing it for whatever reason. I don't remember why. But yeah, Bernadetta isn't here, which would have probably worked better in this specific situation. And then also I have Shez. And then also I have Shez, who is... I didn't build that team properly, or I didn't build that team for a situation like this, so it just won't work. This is the only one that it has the tools necessary to try to break through Fjorm with this particular support. And I'm referring to Hathrun and Treeman. And also I want to throw what's her name, Robin, in there as well, because of how the dynamics interact with each other. The problem here is that there's a lot of structures that I have to break to get up to the opposing team to then attack, so that's actions wasted, and also turns wasted, because there's no way that I'm going to be able to do this in one turn. You see this Felix here, not the optimal kit. The only thing in my benefit is that I do have time to kind of set up, which sometimes isn't the case. If Sigurd was in the middle, it probably wouldn't have been possible. But nevertheless, this is the configuration that we're playing into. I'm going to be a little bit safe here and back up as much as I think that I can potentially back up, just to avoid any potential misplays here, because I do want to try to clear this, or at least see what the potential damage is here from Lucina. I want to see what the potential damage output here is going to be from Lucina, so I want to back up just a bit so that I can get the guaranteed next turn.
Of course.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. Granted, just want to point out the fact that I do, for the majority, or pretty much, majority of my matches, I play with a stat disadvantage because I don't bring the correct bonus structure. I typically always bring just the healing tower, and it's typically about +4 to all stats except HP, maybe HP as well, I think. I'm not sure, but typically I'm at a stat minus or +4 stat advantage, depending on how you want to look at it. Stat disadvantage, depending on how you want to look at it, for pretty much all of my matches, except when the healing tower is bonus. Then it kind of works out for in my favor there. But otherwise, I'm always on the losing end, which is fine by me. 4 stats is typically something that you can find if your team is put together properly. Usually, it's more than likely going to be overkill in your benefit. I'm breaking that structure there just so that I can have that spot if I need it in the future, which I think I will. So we're going to set up like this. Fitness is going to be the extent of Sigurd's range, and then I accounted for just one more on one of the sides. But if Lucina is getting targeted, I think that's pretty much GG's. But let's go to the turn 2 here. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to have to waste an action here to break the ice. And then it's going to be down to trap placement and trap gambles, which are never fun. With the Robin, with the ice terrain, it makes it a little bit more difficult to guess or speculate, conjecture, which one of these, deduce, probably the right word, which one of these traps is actually the real one, because personally, from my standpoint, if you're going to have Ice Terrain, you want to put the trap under the ice, because it just makes it a little bit more difficult for the opponents to get to your team. I think that's really the perfect setup that you want to go for. That may or may not be the case here. I don't know. We'll see when we get up there. But it's going to make it a little bit harder for me to play into this. Now, I'm just making sure that I have all of my my stuff set up here. Actually, I'm missing some speed buffs here, so I need to get Golvig into place, because I now have a spot available to get +6 speed on Lucina from Summer Golvig, because I want to meet the speed check. It doesn't look like Fjorm has a lull. I could be wrong, but I'm not seeing one here. So I don't think she has a lull, so that's great. That works out for me. She neutralizes her penalties, but I don't think she has a lull. So I'm gonna put Summer Golvig somewhere over here, closer. Well, maybe I should move Lucina up one instead. I'm gonna change the configuration of this. Now, one of the things that's actually added difficulty on this particular map, or let's just go over the configuration. Now, Fjorm plus Ather, very strong combination. I use it all the time for anima season, because of the fact that they, well, I don't want to say they pair well together. It's more like Ather is just that good that whatever unit you put her with, she typically overcompensates and makes that unit pretty much unkillable. She's like steroids for nukes, or steroids for tanks, pretty much. So it's always good to have her on your defense. If you have the space to put her there, she's always going to be welcome. And if she's within speed season and you don't lose too much score from running her, typically it's always going to be to your benefit to run her if you have that option. Now, that being said, again, her plus Fjorm, very, very good combination, because Fjorm is guaranteed to always have at least 20 health, which is a lot for Fjorm. It's usually more than enough for her to survive most combats against anything that, well, I mean, even into AoE combats, because she's going to get that 20 back at the beginning of the enemy phase. So it's just all good for her. And then when you throw Ather in the mix, it makes it a little bit more difficult to initiate into Fjorm. Not because of the debuffs that he's bringing. Is this real? Okay, that's the good one. Okay. Not because of the debuffs that he's bringing. It's really more so because of Barricade. Now, my initial reaction to the skill, and the reaction that I held for quite some time up until, I want to say, like 2 days ago, as of this recording. Let's see, the damage is not what I wanted, but we're going to have to figure something out here. Again, not only is it the 20 that you're seeing there, that's not what you're seeing. What you're seeing there is the Divine Nectar also gives, what's that thing called again? Flat damage reduction. That good old flat damage reduction. And it's making it so that Fjorm is surviving here. I'm not putting out enough damage to actually compensate for that, which is a trade-off on Peony here in terms of whether I wanted to drive the crossbar speed or the crossbar attack. I went for a crossbar speed just to guarantee that I would win the speed check. So that is -5 attack on every hit, which would have probably helped me out there, since it was about 20-25 damage there. That probably would have been enough to get the KO, but it's situational. You never know when you're going to need it or not. Now, I do have a plan here, as I was saying. What you're seeing there is also the fact that the first initiation is helped or saved or compounded by Divine Nectar, giving the...
Don't be seen.
Oh, that's even better now that we got the dancing from Peony. We're getting +4 to speed as well, so that's 4 extra damage. Still not enough, but with Golvig here, what we're going to do is break the Divine Nectar flat damage reduction on the first combat. With Golvig here, was benefiting from Miracle from Ymir, which is why I bring Ymir And also you're gonna see another reason that I brought Ymir here because of something else that she does that Summer Ymir does not do without her dual button. This base Ymir is very useful, I want to say, to have around for situations like this. Incredibly so, more so than I want to say. What's her face? Fallen Maria. Just because she can, well, you'll see in a bit, but there you go. With the flat damage reduction gone now, we are able to get that KO. And we have extra actions with Summer Golvig, that will help us to clear this. Now, the reason that I was bringing up Barricade on Ather is that Barricade actually is a pretty decent skill. It's like 3 things wrapped into one. It has penalty neutralization in it, as well as the extra stats, and then also the anti-warping, which is actually really going to be a hindrance for me as I try to initiate. I have to get rid of Ather in order to get Golvig to do her Celica Ring thing, which is what will allow her to be more mobile and take out additional units, because I need to get, for this map to be cleared, I need to get rid of Sigurd, Felix, and also, well, she's not that much of a problem. Robin here, not that much of a problem, but Sigurd and Felix need to go. And because of the ice terrain, warping would really be the only solution. So, and also because, and the trap right there, I'm not sure if that's real or not. And also because Robin is here, she's blocking a potential spot that I could use for attacking. So she also needs to go, which would leave only
all right,
Tree Man and
Don't be seen.
Becky. I can't remember her name right now. Those will be the only ones that will be left if I'm able to set it up right or get the units that I want off the map. So Barricade here is giving an additional +4 to defense and res, and then the anti-warping, and then the you're seeing the miracle again there from Ymir, and then also Barricade is giving the penalty neutralization as well to Fjorm, which she already has, so it's not that much of a benefit there, but it's preventing me from getting all the way in. Even after Fjorm is gone, it's still slowing me down. It's a hindrance. So yeah, I think it's a very good skill in Ather in particular, because I wouldn't run him as a save, and like if you Barricade, if you stack that, you can get a lot of support out of it. Like imagine if each of these units had Barricade. That's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Well, you wouldn't put it on Ather, and you put it on maybe Felix, maybe Robin. That's 2. So that's what, +12 to defense and res for Fjorm. Very difficult to clear that. I wouldn't have been able to take her out, I don't think, with those additional stats. So it comes in it stacks very well, Barricade. So if you're looking to, let's say, build just a tanky defense, I'd highly recommend just stacking that skill on a bunch of your units, because it can be really annoying. Now what you're going to see here is something that is, again, another one of Ymir's benefits or the positives about her. Now, I canceled onto the gravity trap. Now, the reason that I did this is because Ymir here is going to be able to cleanse that with a swap from Golvig that I have in the corner here, Mythic Golvig. And also I got the dual button, but that's not really what that's for. Let's check this Felix. Okay, we got the Felix. That's good. And also Peony the healing from Peony is actually really helping out here, way more than I expected it to, because I was a little bit worried that I wouldn't have enough health to get through some of these combats with Golvig. I was also checking to see if she had a 25% weapon condition, which Summer Golvig does not, which is fantastic. It would have been really bad if she did, because these combats would have been a lot more difficult to get through. Probably why she works so well with Resonance. Now, you're going to see it in a little bit here. I'm just trying to map out the correct course. Ooh, that is great. I'm probably going to do that. Because as it stands right now, I need to get rid of, again, Felix and Sigurd. But if I can get Ather as well, that would be an added benefit. I will probably take that if I can. 2 spaces. Okay, so the thing about Ather is that if I'm going to try to escape, she might be able to snipe a unit. Let's say Lucina or Golvig, I don't know, because both of them are pretty much low health currently. It will be improved a bit, but I don't think either of them. There you go. Now you're going to see would be able to live a combat against Ather. Now you're going to see that the gravity effect is gone, and I have my movement back, which is again one of the reasons that I'm so positive about this Ymir. She is able to just cleanse pretty much everything with the support, swap, rally, whichever support that you bring or whichever assist skill that you bring. Once you use that, she cleanses within 2 spaces of her, and it's just like fantastic for Golvig because she gets hindered by gravity once she's doing her extra action thing. That's why this team is built this way. This offensive team that I have here has her included because of that, and that's one of the reasons that Bernadetta is not on this team, because she would consistently get healed over and over again, which would eliminate her 75, her 99 HP thing. That would get removed because of the swapping that I would do with Ymir. Not that, like, you could initiate and then get her down to 1 and then it wouldn't be that much of a big deal, kind of like with Golvig right now, but it's really difficult to get them. It's not synergistic, is ultimately what I'm getting at. Whoa. Still more to say. So, we've gotten through the hard part, which is breaking through Fjorm. Now we got to get rid of the units here in the correct order. And then, depending on whether or not, I think I'm going to take out Ather, especially since Golvig is also able to do it. And that's the benefit of having 4 actions. My god. I don't think we need a 5th action unit. Like, future projection, I don't think we need a unit that has 5 actions. 4 seems to be enough. And I think you can actually get 5 if Golvig were to come in on that turn with the summoning circle. That would be really nuts. But for now, I don't think we're going to need 5. This is actually exactly the right amount of actions that I needed to get this cleared done with the unit compositions that I had here. Ideally, I'd probably remove, well, of course I'd remove Mythic Golvig for, let's say, another Dancer, and that would be even more actions, but for this particular configuration, it does exactly what I needed to do. So the second challenge, as I was about to get into, is making sure that my units are properly positioned after I take all of my actions, because I didn't want to get sniped by Ather, but now that Ather's gone, I don't have to worry about that. So what I'll do is probably back out here and take Felix and Sigurd, and then that will leave Tree Man in the corner there all by himself, and he should be a lot easier to deal with once he's alone. I was missing the kill with both of these units here. Neither of them were able to take him out. So we're gonna just wait on him to be solo, which is kind of one of the things that I've been doing so far. It kind of reminds me of when her Ather just came out. One of the best ways to deal with her was to just have her be solo, and then because she doesn't have her friends around, she's a lot easier to beat up. Same thing kind of goes for Tree Man currently. When he's by himself, he's not that threatening of a unit, since, again, he's an armored unit, so he can only move 1 space, which is one of the things that I've been struggling with in terms of what I could do with Tree Man in the future. I'm thinking of, like, giving him some type of, like, either boots or warping support, because if he had, let's say, the Celica ring, I would not be able to do this. This would be a pain. As you can see there, just not enough damage. Let's get the pots here and try to figure that out later on for another turn. But yeah, there you go, man. This was a very tough match for me in particular to clear because of the team compositions that I had for this week. So I'm very glad that I was able to get it through. I want to say that I almost gave up on the screen. When I saw the team, I was like, man, I don't have anything that plays well into this Fjorm, because the fact that she's a bonus unit and she's getting all of those extra stats means that it's going to be really hard to take her down. Typically, it's not that hard with Lucina to get through Fjorm. But with the Hathern support and the bonus stats, just barely able to get it done. And yeah, we're just going to keep swapping and healing, and I'm just trying to get back to full health in the event that I need the full health to get through Tree Man here. 75% HP condition for the miracle to activate, so just want to make sure that everyone is above that so that we can actually take advantage of the miracle if we do need to. Let's see what this looks like. Actually, let's swap first, and then let's see what this looks like. Okay, cool, we don't need it. Now, one of the things that I'm not seeing, I think it's probably in combat, I guess. The detect skill. Ooh, that's nice. The detect skill, I'm not seeing. I was like you know, like how sabotage, when you do, it gives the visible debuffs and you see the debuffs on the status of the unit. I'm trying to figure out if detect, I probably just didn't read it right. I think it might actually be just in combat debuffs, -5, which I don't know if that's better or not. Debuffs overall are just good, but I was kind of thinking that it worked more like sabotage, which is one of the things that I wanted to include on Ymir's kit here, but then she wouldn't have, well, actually she still would have the cancer because I have her with the Sigurd ring. I just don't have sabotage available to give to her. That was the problem, because it would stack and then give me more damage, and everything would just work out a lot better if she had sabotage in her B skill, but it's currently not something that I have available to give out as fodder. But yeah, man, this was a really tough match. Glad that I was able to clear it. Good defense builds. The unit compositions really work out well. I probably wouldn't run Gale Force on Felix. He does a lot better with Gus, but you want to get the extra kills, so it's a trade-off that you make, I guess. But yeah, this was a really tough match, man. GG's. See you in the next one.